From the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas, this is NT Daily News.
Denton City Council and Mayor Mike Watts gathered Thursday to welcome the City of Denton's new Chief of Police. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Bond.
And I'm Jason Middlebrooks. Chief Frank Dixon was officially sworn in Thursday afternoon. Denton Municipal Judge Robin Ramsey did the honors at the Denton Public Safety Training Center. Dixon was named the city's new police chief in September after a nationwide search. He previously served as an assistant police chief in Austin and has 23 years of law enforcement experience. Dixon will officially begin his role as chief on October 15th. Engineers discovered a leak at the Lake Forest Park Dam. NT Daily's Michael Olivares is live at the dam with the update.
I'm live at the dam. The leak isn't obvious, but people are affected by it who come to the park to use the trail. If you plan on going to Lake Forest Park this weekend, you may notice as you're walking along the trail a closed-off section with a sign that reads, "Notice, dam is closed for repairs." A leak in the dam was recently discovered by engineers. Officials decided to close off the trail to keep park goers safe.
Currently, Lake Forest Park Trail Dam is closed until further notice. We are working on some short-term and long-term remedies for that pond and the dam. We've identified some seepage from the dam, but we're also looking at possible dredging as well as some vegetation management solutions for both the short and long-term future.
According to the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality, the leak has been classified as a low hazard hazard. Packin says the leak in the dam has been an ongoing issue since 2011. The Parks and Recreations Department is trying to find funding to repair the dam. The park is still open to the public, but the trail will remain closed until further notice. In Denton, I'm Mike Olivares, NT Daily News.
Concern in Denton County has risen surrounding the positive testing of the West Nile virus in a mosquito trap. Denton County health officials confirmed a Denton resident has contracted West Nile last week. Health officials continue to monitor the risk. The health department raised the risk level to 3 and are conducting truck-based sprays north of Denton near Stewart Road. The risk of contracting the virus is light to moderate when risk level is raised this high. Chief Epidemiologist at Denton County Public Health, Juan Rodriguez, says using mosquito repellent is a significant concern for communities. Rodriguez also says residents should remain vigilant in mosquito protection and elimination, even though it's already October. Most mosquito traps were picked up by Thursday morning by the City of Denton. For the latest news and additional information, visit dentoncounty.com/WNV.
Hurricane Michael is making its way inward along the southeast coast, leaving beaches in Alabama, Florida, and Georgia submerged. Reporter Jan Pomerantz takes us over the devastation Hurricane Michael left behind us.
Panama City's catastrophic damage. Someone told me, quote, Mexico Beach is gone.
Over Mexico Beach, Florida, a look at what Hurricane Michael's 155-mile-per-hour winds left behind.
Let's just hope in Mexico Beach that people evacuated, because if they stayed right there and got the full brunt of the storm straight from the Gulf, without a barrier island, at least breaking it a little bit, there's going to be some significant loss.
Hundreds of thousands of customers in Florida, Alabama, and Georgia are without power, making communication with those who decided to ride out the storm nearly impossible. FEMA Administrator Brock Long said safety and rescues are today's priorities.
Making sure that we are helping people who may be trapped and pushing through and doing damage assessments to make sure that we fully understand where we need to coordinate our response efforts.
The severe damage not limited to the Florida coastline. In Albany, Georgia, about 100 miles inland, the mayor urged residents to stay at home.
I saw trees that had fallen on houses, trees that had fallen on cars just on my way here. And if that is all over the city, then we are going to have some issues. And it's going to take us a few days, to get it together.
And Michael isn't done yet. Moving through the Carolinas today, bringing tropical storm forces, winds, and heavy rain to the areas that took the brunt of Florence just weeks ago.
Officials say registration numbers are up across Denton County. As of today, Denton County reports nearly 500,000 people are registered to vote in the upcoming midterm elections. But registering to vote is just the first step. Early voting starts Monday, October 22nd. Election Day is Tuesday, November 6th.
UNT's chapter of the Pi Kappa Phi fraternity has been suspended from campus until 2020 for hazing. NT Daily's Caroline Kane is here to explain why.
The Dean of Students officially suspended the fraternity from campus in September. It comes after a video was sent to UNT's Dean of Students in February. According to an incident report, the video shows a fraternity member punching a pledge in the face while others watched and recorded it. Along with the video, a fraternity member's mother called and complained. Pi Kappa Phi denied the incident was hazing. Now the fraternity has to move out by the end of the month, which according to one fraternity member comes as a surprise.
Coming down, we just got a notice from one of our presidents saying that the university is going to evict us and that they were going to try to find housing for us in dorms. However, if we were going to be housed in dorms and we wouldn't be able to live together.
The fraternity house originally had to be cleared out by October 21st, but members were granted a 10-day extension after filing an appeal. UNT spokeswoman Leanne Gutlett says UNT requires all students comply with the Student Code of Conduct. Pi Kappa Phi members have to be out of their house by October 31st. Caroline Kane, NT Daily News.
Up next, UNT's Autism Center reaches as far as Uganda. Stay tuned to find out how.
Here she comes. I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said she won't be taking you in as a client.
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Texas Catholic Church officials have made the decision to release a list of clergy members they deem to be credibly accused of sexual abuse. According to a press release from Bishop Edward J. Burns of the Diocese of Dallas, the church has turned their files over to authorities for investigation. Phil Prazen reports from Austin.
Our hope is also by doing so that we can move forward, especially by creating now more trust from the people, but also for healing for those who've been harmed by a cleric.
We spoke with Bishop Joe Vasquez from the Diocese of Austin early this afternoon. In the days ahead, they'll be hiring outside investigators. I asked him what the process will be to encourage victims to come forward.
It can be various ways. One way, of course, is just to go directly to the authorities. So they can go directly to the police, report that, and then the process begins. That's a criminal authorities process. But they can also come to the church, and they can also tell us, and then we will also start a process, working, of course, with the authorities as well.
A lot of people think that the church has been, co-conspirators, if you will, to keep some of these cases under wraps. Talk a little bit about what type of outside help will be helping.
Through our attorneys, we were able to say, we need to do that. We need to have someone that's independent, that's not part of the church, that's looking at us from the outside. So we cannot be blamed or cannot be said, as you said, be part of this conspiracy or cover-up.
That was Phil Prazen reporting from Austin. Anyone with information regarding sexual abuse is encouraged to contact local authorities at the Texas Abuse Hotline, txabusehotline.org.
Therapy techniques at UNT's Kristen Farmer Autism Center are helping people in Uganda. I found out how. Frederick Sambatia is a behavior analyst at the Kristen Farmer Autism Center. He arrives at the center at 7 o'clock every morning to treat patients. He uses two types of therapy, One is applied behavior analysis. The other one is called Picture Exchange Communication System. Both encourage communication and positive social behavior. Sambatia sees a global demand for autism therapies. He says with little to no resources for treatment, autism is often misdiagnosed or ignored in Uganda.
This is a condition whereby parents are used to seeing individuals with disabilities that are visible, maybe with a physical impairment, but now autism is not visible.
Sambatia says there's only one neuropediatrician in his country. He goes back home when he can to aid and train parents at the autism-focused school he opened 4 years ago.
I worked with a group of 36 clients, and 90% of them, they had autism spectrum disorder. And back then, that was one of the least known conditions or disorders in such like developing countries like Uganda. So, and whenever I was mentioning autism, person, what are you talking about?
Sapati says he chose UNT's Kristen Farmer Autism Center because of its focus on research and new techniques.
We're leading research on something that we're calling behavioral artistry, which is going beyond basic applied behavior analysis to focus a lot more on compassion and care and the relationship between the therapist and the client. Traditionally, applied behavior analysis is very scientific in its approach. What we would like to see, and what our research is suggesting is helpful, is for people to focus a little bit more on that relationship piece.
Sampatia says he wants Uganda officials to make autism intervention a priority.
I spoke to the Commissioner of Special Needs, and he told me for him as a person, he's willing to just support any programs I bring to the country. However, I told him that it's beyond him, because this is not a sector which is not on the list of the priorities that the government can inject money in or support.
Sambatia currently holds a master's degree, but wants to earn a PhD in autism intervention.
Coming up after the break, UNT's new official varsity squad began its inaugural season this year.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
The women's soccer team at UNT made it to the top 25 AP coaches poll this week for the first time in program history. The news follows 5 straight shutouts. Riding a 7-game winning streak, the Mean Green jumped 5 schools, landing them the 24th nationally ranked spot in the United Soccer Coaches Poll. North Texas is also ranked 2nd in the South region, behind number 15th nationally ranked Memphis. UNT's women's soccer has remained undefeated since conference play. The team has yet to concede a goal to anyone in Conference USA. The Mean Green traveled to Bowling Green, Kentucky on Friday to take on Western Kentucky University, looking for its 8th straight win.
The University of North Texas varsity sports programs like football, basketball, and volleyball are well known around Denton. But this year, UNT is fielding a new varsity program, esports, or competitive video gaming. I spoke with UNT's esports coordinator, Dylan Ray, to see how the program is doing in its first season. UNT varsity esports teams combine video games with intense competition. The program's recognition as a sanctioned varsity program makes them the first one at any public university in Texas and one of the first varsity esports programs in the country. The program will compete in 4 of the most popular games in the world: League of Legends, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, and Overwatch. UNT esports teams are based in a $200,000 facility on the first floor of Chilton Hall nicknamed The Nest.
So right now the program is in its first year, so a lot of it is in development. So what I manage primarily are establishing four varsity teams that represent the university. So finding the best players that are on campus and organizing them in a team to compete and represent UNT on the national level.
Tryouts for this year's teams were held last week and rosters are currently being finalized. Players will have a slew of extra benefits, including coaching and a dedicated practice facility. Ray looked at how professional esports teams operated for inspiration when putting together UNT's program.
So kind of treating it like the 3.0 model for esport programs. So you look at like Complexity or Team Liquid. They treat their players like athletes. Like in Complexity, their esport players practice in the same facility and work out in the same facility that the Dallas Cowboys work out in. So very much we operate in the mindset of like, a healthy mind, a healthy body, a healthy spirit, you're going to be a better player.
While not all students have the time or skill to play varsity esports, the program is making a big impression on students.
Video game esports is becoming a lot more popular, especially when you watch on streaming websites like Twitch and seeing just how much of a fan base there really is, knowing that like my school or our school is one of those schools that is really top notch when it comes to esports and very engaging. Yeah, I think it's great.
In the future, Ray hopes to offer financial aid and expand recruiting. You can watch live esports matches online at twitch.tv, or you can get information about the program on the UNT Rec Sports website or the esports Facebook page.
UNT's fencing club has more new members than returning ones this year. Martez Marcellus Huff reports the team's president hopes the increase in interest continues.
Back and forth, just some of the movements you need to be a great fencer.
Footwork, a ton. Lots of fencing involves distance away from your opponent. So it's lots of like getting back really fast or getting really small movements in to kind of trick your opponent on how close you really are.
Some come to fencing club to live out their childhood fantasies.
I really like fencing. I've always enjoyed pirates, and so I thought that's like a closer step to being a pirate, is learning how to fence.
The president of the organization stresses that people do not need to have experience in fencing, but should have the willingness to learn.
It's definitely that attitude. We have some people that come in thinking like this is going to be like anime sword fights or something. They're talking about, I can't wait to use the massive two-handed blow and jump kick my opponent or something. But it's the people that come in and are excited to see this as an actual sport.
Zachary Hacker is one of the fencing coaches. He says the sport requires a lot of physical and mental stability.
One thing that people don't realize is that fencing is way more emotionally tolling because on the basis that it's just an individual sport. Like if you mess up, then you messed up. It's not a team thing where there was a misunderstanding or miscommunication. You were the only one responsible for that.
Fencing can be expensive. The UNT program tries to make it affordable by providing equipment, uniforms, and face masks. Martez Marcellus Huff, NT Daily News.
You can catch the fencing club on Monday and Wednesday nights from 8:30 to 11:30 at the Bosch & Bonson Stadium.
Up next, the State Fair of Texas is showcasing several new trucks and cars.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The State Fair is back, and long-running the Texas Auto Show comes with it. NT Daily's John Pinto gives us a preview of some of the hottest new models.
Since 1914, the Texas State Fair has invited the world's leading auto manufacturers to showcase their vehicles. This year, the auto show lasts 24 days and exhibits around 400 of the latest car models. I was able to check out some of the highest-selling vehicles as well as some of the most surprising. Ford was here at the auto show showcasing their new Ford Ranger. The last time this compact truck was sold in the U.S. was in 2011, but it's back for 2019. Ford is also showing off the most sold vehicle in the U.S. for the 36th consecutive year, the Ford F-150. Ford is very proud of the level of luxury in their King Ranch version of the truck.
And it's got a nice design. The King Ranch has got the nice chrome finish, nice chrome front bumper fascia, rear chrome bumper, and the nice 20-inch polished wheels on it.
Ford hopes the truck will once again top the sales chart for 2018, but there's a lot of good competition out there. The F-150 has a starting price of $28,000. Buick has redesigned the Enclave into a very formidable opponent. The all-new 2018 Enclave is selling as fast as Buick can make them, thanks to the new Avenir package. Think Denali when you hear Avenir. This is Buick's ultimate expression of luxury and style. The redone exterior and interior is well protected by the new safety tech incorporated into the car.
So we offer you some camera and radar-based technologies like side blind zone alert, lane change alert, rear cross traffic alert, and then some semi-autonomous technologies are available on the Enclave Avenir as well.
The only worry is that it is sharing some of the DNA with the Chevy Traverse. Can it distinguish itself enough? The numbers seem to say yes. The Enclave starts at $40,000, while the Avenir trim is at $53,000. Toyota has totally revamped the Camry for the 2018 model year.
So, we've always made standard cars, they've always been reliable, but we really wanted something aggressive and bold, so.
The all-new Camry takes cues from Lexus siblings with a bold new grille while also borrowing the very impressive 3.5-liter V6 engine. This new engine makes 301 horsepower, making it the most powerful Camry ever built. This aggressive new redesign and starting price of just under $24,000 makes Toyota hopeful that it can retain the highest-selling passenger sedan. Kia surprised everyone when it showed up with this, the Telluride concept from Kia and designer Brandon Maxwell. The big 3-row SUV was first seen during the New York Fashion Week earlier in September, but it's making a huge Texas-styled splash at the State Fair. Kia says this car will come out for the 2020 model year, and more info will be available in April. To check out all of these and more, the Texas State Fair Auto Show is open until October 21st, open to the public with the purchase of a State Fair admission. For NT Daily News, I'm Jean Pinto.
General admission tickets for the State Fair start at $16.50 online or $18 at the gate.
Montana family is thrilled to have their four-legged friend back in the home after Bobby went missing for nearly a year. CNN Elizabeth Transuz shows us just how excited this family really is.
900 miles is a long way from home.
It's 930 miles away. That's amazing, isn't it?
Well, that's how far this orange tabby cat traveled. Bobby the cat left his home in June of 2017 and was found in Nevada on September 25th, 2018.
He's not going outside no more.
Now, the Prestons have their theories of how Bobby ended up there.
I mean, the train comes right behind the house, and he goes down and roams. But he's not roaming anymore. He's at home kitty.
But for the past year and a half, that didn't stop Kyle Preston from putting Bobby's favorite dish out back in hopes he would come home.
I just felt like we could never give up. And now he's home. I can't believe it.
Thanks to Bobby being microchipped, an animal shelter was able to track Bobby to Big Sky Country.
I'm a proud papa again. Look at that. Who wouldn't love that?
And if only cats could talk, we'd get to hear Bobby's side of the story.
Bobby, how does it feel to be home?
But for now, we'll just say it's the perfect ending to this long-awaited return.
And this is very, very special to me right now, and I will never forget this.
In Great Falls, Elizabeth Transu, MTN News.
Wow, what a trek for that tabby, and what a perfect ending. That's our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time for NT Daily News.